as they would like them to be.
Okay, thank you for that. Ms. Coombs, would you like to comment on your particular concerns?
Yeah, I mean, I can only really speak to the family migration, but we were deeply concerned and quite frankly very shocked by the sudden increase to the threshold. It's fair to say that there hadn't been an increase since 2012. However, we represent a lot of families, and women in particular, who simply can't even meet the 18,600 threshold because they're looking after children as well as trying to sponsor their partner, and also younger couples or older couples. So, we have an awful lot of people who were suddenly thrown into chaos. There was no impact assessment, there was no consultation. It was pegged to a skilled worker route that we were just didn't know where that came from. And in a space that has become so toxic in this country, and we deal with an area of migration that few people, most of the public, don't actually know is an issue. When I speak of this, about my own personal experience, because I'm lived experience, they simply say, what? But you're married, you have a child together, how can you not be able to be in this country? And the fact is, most people don't realise it's a qualified right, which is absolutely outrageous. As a British citizen, I should be able to be here in this country with my non-British partner and our child without concern, but that is absolutely not the case.
Are you able to say briefly what happened to you then? What was your personal experience? Do you feel comfortable to say that, or?
Yes, I mean, I think my situation was very different. I met my husband in Ecuador when I was living over there. We got married, and I thought, I need to get back to England before then I became pregnant, and I thought I need to get back to England before I can no longer carry a camera, because at the time I was working in television. And so I came back, and when I had the baby in Britain. I fell into very serious depression and had exceedingly dark thoughts. And then there was an earthquake in Ecuador where we were living, which is very serious. My husband was over here at the time, able to be here with me for the birth. And we sought legal advice, and not great legal advice, to be fair. And we were refused. And we then went on to do an appeal, which took a year, basically wiped out the first year of my family life. And even to this day, I find it quite difficult to talk about, because we were put on an exceptional circumstances route. The appeal, in 20 minutes, they overturned it and said, this is ridiculous. You're a family, you should be able to be here.
You now offer support to individuals who are in similar circumstances and need
because
help.
Of that.
Yeah.
And I was one of the lucky ones. Yeah. So many families, most of our families are separated for months, if not years, and we've got so many families. I have my own mental health issues because of that, but we've got families who are separated, and I can't even tell you how desperate it is every single day to have to hear the stories that we hear. The depression, the anxiety, the children is the worst. Like having to listen to how children are being utterly devastated.
Thank you. Thank you for that. It's very helpful to hear what was an awful experience, to help put this into context when you're dealing with families, husbands and wives and children. It's very upsetting to hear what happened to you and so many other people.
And as I say, I was one of the lucky ones, and it's so upsetting when you hear people talking about how they just simply want to be here. We have the narrative of dependence, the narrative of burden to taxpayer, and we repeatedly, against a brick wall, we hit our head saying there is no recourse to public funds. My husband has we're still on a route, by the way, and we spent, I don't know, £12,000 so far living in, you know, a cost of living crisis. We haven't been able to even go back to Ecuador for my son, who's now 8, to meet his family over there. My stepdaughters have to get visit visas to come here, which is expensive. So for our family to be complete, we still have to go through that hurdle as well. But it's incredible, the absolute complex, expensive, ridiculous, unnecessary pathways that you have to go through as a British citizen and settled citizens as well to be here. We've got families who are exiled. They can't even come back. Post-Brexit, they've then suddenly, and a lot aren't even realising this applies to them. It's only when they turn around and think, or they have a situation where perhaps mum or dad is older, they're needing care, and when they suddenly look into it, I mean, I certainly didn't go and look at how, you know, is there an issue for me and my husband to be here? There just wasn't even that thought process. It was only when we came up against it